Well. Thank y'all for tuning in and coming on in here. I know I'm a few minutes late, but I was getting it together. You know, sometimes things happen. But I'm glad y'all can join us for another episode of the Dominique the Podcast. I'm all over the room. I'm all over the place. I had two very funny guests for y'all. Keep coming into it. Stick with us, y'all. I got two very funny guests for y'all. One of them, he not able to make it. He had some personal issues. That was Capone, but we'll get him another time. But me and my good friend Ruben Paul, we gonna hold it down like we do all the time. This is my good friend. You seen him. He tours all over this world. You probably seen him on the road with Russell Peters. He got his own podcast with Johnny Sanchez. He gonna tell y'all more about that. I gotta ask how Sanchez doing. And he hosts Ruby Tuesdays at the Hollywood Laugh Factory. We can't wait to get back to that. Y'all give it up for my good friend Ruben Paul. Oh my God, I can't wait to get back to it.
Man, what up, Nick? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rube. You look good, Rube. How you doing?
I'm hanging in. You know, we all in the same boat, so just keeping it positive. But like you said, definitely looking forward to getting back, doing live stand up. Even these social distancing shows, I wouldn't even mind doing them out here in LA. You know what I mean? Because we can down out here, you know?
Yes. I'm fine. I mean, everybody else has opened up somewhat. I don't understand why LA still closed. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because we don't wear no damn masks out here. That's why.
They not the only place, though. Believe me, they not the only place.
I know you were just in Memphis, right?
I was in Memphis.
How was that?
Memphis went really good. Shout out to Memphis. They they doing their social distancing and everything. So that's good. They trying, everywhere. I don't know if they trying as much, but they doing really good in Memphis. They were great crowds in Memphis this weekend. And it was a great experience. It's an adjustment, Go ahead.
How many shows did you do?
I did 6 shows.
Okay. Did you bring your own microphone?
Absolutely. You know me, Rube. You know I bought my own microphone, and when I went up there, because it takes time for me to change the mic and do all that. That's one of my first jokes. I love my comedy brothers and sisters, but I don't know where these ninjas been at. I don't know what these comedians be doing when I ain't around. We not together all the time now. I don't know what's going on with them. So I wear my mask up there. I go hard, Rube. I don't hang around. I get there right before time for me to go up. I go up there with my mask. I take it off. I work, perform, and I put my mask on and I hit the door. I love all my fans and all that, but they shouldn't even want to take a picture with me.
I know. It's crazy. I just think because, we've all been in quarantine and coming to a comedy show makes you feel normal.
It does.
So I think, we just, they're laughing, they have a good time. So they see you, that it's their natural instinct to want to take a picture with you. You know what I mean? To show you love. It's like, I still, you know how I get down, Nick. Me and you take the whole COVID shit seriously. So
yeah,
I know even with me, sometimes when I see people, I have to catch myself. Like I'm not giving them a hug or, you know what I mean? Like we normally do, unless it's somebody that I'm super close to and know, what their lifestyle has been like since this whole thing happened. But for the most part, you kind of got to be careful, and it's hard because you don't want to offend nobody.
You don't, but and I understand that. No, I definitely don't want to offend anybody. But it's just a thing of you got to be safe, you got to be cautious, and even on the road, people have to understand we flying. That's another thing. We flying to get there. We coming from a whole nother city. We in a strange city. So all it is about precaution. And you absolutely right, Rube. It's so easy to let your guards down. You have to stay mindful because you can let your guards down so easy. And you like, hold up, wait a minute. We in a pandemic. Hold up for a minute. You let your guards down so easy. So, but it's been a good experience. It felt so good being on stage. That was the best experience. That was the best part of it. Oh my God. And when I went, oh my God, Rube. I was a little, I don't know, how we go up. It's like second nature. we go up all the time, even if it's a hole in the wall, a little gig, a big gig. The job that we do, that's what we got to do. We got to continuously go up to stay sharp, be able to see your angles. Like Al Pacino said in Carlito's Way, it's getting bad out here. I can't see my angles no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was a real weird experience for me not being able to go up.
Yeah.
And when I first went up, my first stop was Atlanta, and I went up at the first night, and I was like, oh Lord. I mean, it's just like I couldn't find my way. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Nick, because obviously we're two different comics, but we do share a lot of the love for the craft, and I think sometimes our approach, not necessarily material-wise, but I know how you think, and you know how we talk a lot about comedy privately. I think the thing that's challenging is, you know, we're in Corona, and you know, every comedian is going to be talking about Corona, and you know, we like to be, you know, original and different. So it's sometimes, you know, it's challenging when I think of material of like finding that angle of not talking about what everybody else is talking about in the same way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, just finding that, like, because you know, if you're doing a show, there's going to be, you know, 100 comedians going to be talking about coronavirus, but what's going to make your take different than their take? So go ahead.
I think with that, that's a good point. That I think with that though, Rube, it's our authenticity that makes us stand apart anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's our authenticity. So if you saying the same joke I'm saying, the way I'm saying it, you stole my joke pretty much. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we all going to be talking about this thing. But I think like my take on it over this weekend, the two acts that work with me, they didn't have that point of view on it. You know, my point of view get way out there, and we kindred spirits as far as the stand-up goes. So your point of view gonna be way out there. So yeah, your point of view gonna be on something else, and if somebody else say it, you're gonna be like, you took that's Ruben's joke.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny that you say that is, and you're dead on. I agree with you 100%. I was talking to Mark Curry on Saturday night. Shout out Mark Curry, and Mark Curry was like, "Man, Rube, you know, I don't want to talk about the coronavirus because everybody's talking about the coronavirus. That's why I brought this up to you."
Right.
And you told him what you just told me. I go, Mark, you're gonna find a different angle because that's who you are and that's what you do. So no one's gonna come at it exactly like Mark Curry would. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's so to me, it's as long as you can stay true to yourself and really be conscious of you know what you want to present to them within the whole Corona thing. Like especially when I did that one gig, you know, the first thing I like to be in the moment, just like you, like be current of what's going on.
Yeah.
To be able to do that and still grab your own angle, I think is a testament to the years of experience that we have.
Yes, and all I could do was go up there and talk. After all this time, I had to wait for the jokes to find me. Usually I can flip through, you flip through your notebook in your mind. Okay, hit them with that one. Wow, hit them with that. They had to find me. I was up there saying, damn, have I lost it? It only took 6 months, 7 months.
I know.
7 months to lose it.
Well, let me ask you this, because like when you're another thing, like you said earlier, like we got our Rolodex of jokes that we have or things that we might want to talk about. Did you find yourself on stage, whether in Atlanta or even in Memphis this past weekend, where you thought you wanted to talk about something, you were like, I could do this bit or this joke, but I kind of want to focus on what's relevant and happen now. Like, were there any jokes you just didn't feel like doing it just because the world has changed since we've been on stage?
Absolutely. There was some I just didn't do. Because to me, like, even though everybody doing coronavirus jokes, to me as a stand-up, you got to address it anyway, Rude. It's the elephant in the room. They sitting in there with masks on.
Absolutely.
They social distance. The tables are spread out. They sitting there with masks on. In Memphis anyway, so you got to address that. So I went into the coronavirus stuff. And what I basically did was the jokes that fit within where I was with the coronavirus stuff, I just threw them in there.
Got you.
You know what I mean? They just kind of segue right into, what I might have been talking about at that point. So that's really what I did with that, and how I tried to work that.
I'm really looking to go back out, like you said earlier. And I don't know how many people might know this about me or not, but along with touring around the U.S., I tour internationally a lot, whether it be Asia or Europe or Africa or Australia. So I'm really curious to see once things open, because we shut down, we can't even go to any of those countries.
They don't even want us.
They don't want us over there.
We've never been the pariah country.
Yeah, and now we are.
Now we are. We the pariah. Where you from? Oh, no. Too sick. No, we don't want you Americans in our country. No, baby. No, stay your ass home, baby.
But I'm curious. I'm curious to see like what is going to be like, internationally when all this opens back up. So there's still a lot of unknowns, but I will say this: for people who can write a joke, I think this time that we're in is very fertile for some good material. To
Absolutely.
come some good stuff. So I'm looking forward to just getting back out and performing. But I don't even know like what other countries are doing. Like, are they doing social distancing shows in other countries? And if they are, then it probably ain't even going to be enough money for me to go out there until it's back to normal. Because for you guys who are listening and might not know, a club has a budget that a comic might fit into. And a lot of times, if it ain't worth it for the comedian to go there financially, like if we're not really going to make any money, we can't go.
And another thing we have to understand too in the COVID time is that they can't seat full capacity.
That's what I'm getting to. Yeah.
Yes. So since they can't seat full capacity anymore, we're not making as much money. We're not making as much money. So you really, that's an excellent point, Ruben. You really have to say, well, I ain't going out there for $4.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't work long enough. You can give me 20. You know what I'm saying? But since they can't do the full capacity, but you gotta work, you know what I mean? And like a friend of mine said, rest in peace, Skull Bubble, oatmeal beats no meal. You know what I'm saying?
But it's my thing is this: a comedy club owner contacted me and asked me, was I ready to get back and work? And I said, yeah. And she was like, well, the money's not going to be what you would normally get, because she was like, I'm just trying to keep the doors open and keep my staff employed. And I said, I understand. You know what I mean? It's a local gig. And at this point, I just want to work. But at the same time, we can't do it to the point where we lose money. And just having this conversation, thinking about the international stuff, it's already expensive for them to bring us up. Like, a ticket from LA to Dallas or LA to New York or LA to Florida is way different than a ticket from LA to Australia.
Absolutely. That's way different.
You know what I mean? So if they have to do socially distancing shows, then that cuts the budget down. They probably can't even afford to bring you out and pay you after they do the plane ticket, which is going to be a few $1,000s, after they do the hotel for the week or the 2 weeks you there. And if they're operating at half capacity, man, you assed out. So that might be shut down for a minute.
And see, they've been shut down too. The club's been shut down with everybody else. Everybody's just trying to get their footing back. But I was happy to be on stage. I was happy to be working and making a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't enough to. It ain't enough to get rid of your benefits, no shit like that.
You know me, you talk about this all the time. What about your boy only spending $750 on his set?
Rude. And then they had Rude.
Yo, what is I thought about it. I said, Neek, man, the motherfucker was here.
Oh, I'm heated. I'm calling already. You hear me, Rude? I'm got a phone call already in my schedule to call the IRS in the morning. What you gonna do for me? How you gonna help me? I need one of them planes. The plane you got me on is the sacrificial lamb plane. I don't want to be on that plane.
Yo,
700, and this brings me to the whole debate thing. Well, what you debating about? If they don't even need to debate, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
hey,
There's no need to. What they talking about? If you can't make your mind up, you walking around in a maze. You walk with everything been shut down, the economy, everybody's finances jacked up. What you need to know, this man is not fit to be the president.
I find it interesting that there's always people who are undecided, and I do understand that in most elections.
I don't understand.
I don't understand how you undecided. Like I think they should know the only reason why I'm going to watch the debate is so I can laugh, because I know there's going to be some funny shit that's going to happen.
And give us material. So
it's going to give us material, but I'm definitely not watching to try to figure out who I'm going to vote for. I mean,
I already know that. You ain't meant to talk.
Yeah, it don't. We don't.
That look rude. That ain't even meant to talk. I don't.
That ain't
even. And people always say I got a Republican guy I met, black guy. He liked to debate me, on social media or whatever. He wanted to debate me on why Donald Trump is this. I said, listen, you better save them breaths for when you in your 80s. Because they falling on deaf's ear with me. Because and maybe I'm wrong for this. There's some people that can look at policies and say the content of this man's character doesn't matter, but it mattered to me. I don't like all the race baiting. Mm-hmm. I don't like the way he's telling the police basically, if you got to kill the Negroes, kill them. I don't like all that. It's not necessary. And I think that I think we don't need a president that's ignorant. And that's all. He'll sell us up. Now we know he broke. He'll sell us up the river.
And I will say this. To me, I know, especially over the past 4 years, it's been a lot of, Republicans versus Democrats, like we're the Blood and the Crips. And to me, this election has nothing to do with Democrats and Republicans. For me, it's just knowing that he's not the type of person that I want leading our country.
No, he's not.
No matter what. And if he was a Democrat, I would feel the same way. And it's just amazing how people will vote party lines no matter what. They'll take character and morality and everything else out of it. And everybody has a right to their own opinion, and no candidate is perfect. They're politicians.
Yeah, they're politicians.
And 45 is fooled a lot of people into thinking that he's not a politician, but as we can see, he's a bigger politician that we've ever had. How he's hustled us. That's why he hustles us.
And all that he hustles, and he loves socialism.
Yeah.
All that he don't like, he's socialist. He's socialist. You the biggest socialist ever lived, dude.
Yeah.
What you doing is called socialism, okay?
And I just
hope stop trying to make everybody else live in this capitalist society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think, it's so bad. It's so cut it out, Donald Trump.
Exactly. As he's counting money, and it's just weird. A lot of times, people vote against their own interests. Like poor white people. There's a lot of poor white people out there that love him, and you feel like going, he ain't for y'all. he hates y'all too much.
He just not for them, and they don't understand it. But I saw a quote, and I'm gonna read it to you. And This is a quote that I saw and I found very interesting by Lyndon Baines Johnson. And it says, Lyndon Baines Johnson was once asked why white Republicans repeatedly vote against their own best interests, and this was his response. He said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't know you're picking his pocket. He'll give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And that's where the poor, his poor voters, that's where they fall in. That's where they fall in line at, and they don't really realize it. He's all out for himself. He's not interested in the country. He's not interested that we're in a pandemic. These things matter to me. Go ahead, Ruben.
And I'll say this, and me and you, we know a lot of extremely wealthy people, and we've done well ourselves in this
Yeah.
business. But I know some Black people in the past that make a lot of money. They go, socially, I'm Democrat, but financially, I'm Republican.
Yeah.
But in this time, because Republicans tend to give the wealthy tax breaks and all these other things, so that's why financially they tend to vote Republican to protect those interests.
Absolutely.
But even in a time now, those same people before are like, you know what? I'll pay the extra money to get rid of this dude.
Well, we fall under that same category because we small business owners.
Exactly.
So but I'm not going to. I don't. Yeah, those
Your
things
morality ain't for sale. Your morality ain't for sale.
It's not for sale, and those things are good. But it's a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I'm appalled that I pay more taxes than this supposedly rich man. That's $150.
And supposedly got a tax return for 72 million.
72 million. 72 million. And I think we can balance it all out and make it fair. We just don't nobody pay taxes next year. Let's just balance the whole thing out and just swipe. The IRS don't come back till 2022. That's just
well, there's some people that believe Black people shouldn't even pay taxes, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. But I'm gonna say we should. Thank the people that came in. Havaro, I think I'm saying your name right. Bradford, thank you, Chrissy. I have a special on Amazon. It's called Dominique Wouldn't Stop Me When I'm Lying. She said she saw that and it was hilarious. Thank you, Chrissy. Ashley Campbell is in. Brenda is in. My stepmom, Adrian Smith. So thank y'all for coming in and tell people to come in.
Dominique, when did they release your special on Amazon? How long ago? Because I remember we had talked.
I just found out about it like 2 weeks ago. They ain't even tell me. They don't even tell you. So I was just like, somebody called me, like, yo. And I was like, really? I was like, okay. I've been speaking it into existence. Freddie Carter came in here with us.
What up, Freddie? What up, everybody? Oh, and also I have a comedy album out right now called Laughter Knows No Color. And you can get it on Google Play, iTunes, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm waiting for this shit to open up so we can shoot this special. But some people are shooting specials during the pandemic, which has been interesting.
It is because I have a meeting about somebody wanting to shoot my next special. Mm-hmm. But I'm so germaphobe. I'm like, well, how we gonna do it? I mean, with the crew. I mean, I'm gonna be what we gonna do? But I'm gonna have a meeting and we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna make it work because it appears that this is going to be our norm for a while, so we might as well get down with it, and let's. I'm
in the same place too, and because think about this. I'm thinking out loud here, but because we're in a pandemic and everything is at half capacity or 25% capacity, it's probably less pressure to go get a big venue to do something like that. That you could do something really intimate and just get out there and it really be about the material and not the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Were you out there and you just performing? So I'm still thinking about it. Maybe I know Kevin Hart just shot one. Yeah, maybe a lot of people don't know about it. I hope I'm not letting it out the bag, but I guess I let it out the bag.
It's out nasty, but it's okay. He won't care.
Kev is cool. And then a couple of other people I know are shooting specials also. But I think it could be dope to shoot a special like with 30, 40 people in the audience, because comics like us, like you said earlier, whether it's a sold out show or an arena or whether it's a small, intimate show, we still going to give forth the same effort. But we came up doing those late night spots with people in the audience, you know what I mean? And just rock them, in a very intimate setting. So I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. Of course, I want the big crowd and the big audience and all that energy. But at the same time, if you just have something to say and you want to get it out to the public just to make people laugh because of what they're going through right now, I'm definitely open to shooting something during this pandemic.
Yeah, I am too. I guess you could say, and I'm excited about how I'm gonna do my first viral comedy show. So that's coming up in the fall. The lady already worked that out. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna work. But yeah, I'm interested to do. I don't mind doing an intimate crowd. It works even better, especially with the on the couch. I'm sitting on the couch talking to you style of comedy that I do. So you
Yeah,
already know that'll
yeah.
work. But I'll be glad when these clubs in LA open up though. God, I'll be glad when they open up.
Well, it's been hard because we go up. When we're out of town, obviously, we're working, but when we're in town, I'm on stage, 4 or 5 nights a week, if not more. And for that to be taken away from us out here in LA, it's been hard,
Yeah,
because
that's hard.
not to be able to go to Ruby Tuesdays and perform, not to be able to drop by a spot on Monday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or comedy is a 7-day a week gig if you want it to be, if you want to grind and hustle like that. So to go from being able to perform 7 days a week to no days a week has been frustrating. But I know in LA there's been a few social distancing comedy shows that have been popping up, and I'm in the process of working on one right now with our producer. We work with Renee, and then other people have offered me their backyards and like, yo, come do a show here. You can I won't charge you anything. We just want live comedy. We miss you performing. We miss you doing comedy, and they know I always bring a great show too. So
Absolutely.
I'm
Freddie
bringing.
Carr, Havario said I miss you guys at the Laugh Factory. Freddie Carr said what's good.
What's good?
So yeah, so we I just like the people in here. I like to let them know that we acknowledge them. Hold up, I done messed up my thing real quick. They laughed me out, Rube. I ain't had no lights. I ain't realized I was sitting in the dark. I'm doing a show and everybody online look bright. And I'm like, why they look so bright? And I look like I'm in the dungeon somewhere. You know what I mean, Ruben? They look so bright.
Hey, so what? Hey, I know we jumping around, but what airline did you fly when you went to Memphis?
Okay, so I flew on Delta Airline.
Yes.
Delta was great
Tell
for
everybody
me.
why. Tell everybody why.
I flew on Delta Airline because Delta is a great airline to fly if you in the social distancing. They social distance. There's nobody sitting next to you except a person that may very well be in your party. If they're in your party, they can sit with you. But like say you'll have a whole row, it's nobody in the middle of you. If you're sitting in 2 seats, there's nobody sitting next to you. And if you in the row, it's nobody sitting next to you in that middle seat. Everybody has to wear masks. I mean, I snitch people out. One man was pulling his mask down under his nose. That ain't how that go. I'm going to have to call a flight attendant, let her know, bruh, right there. He cutting up. He need to pull that thing up over his nose. I don't know what he got in his nose.
So you snitching, Nick?
I'm snitching hard because the fact of it is, if you ask anybody, don't nobody got coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? When you at a function, if they say who got coronavirus, don't nobody say, here you go, right here. Don't nobody do that. So you gotta kind of look out for yourself.
You have to look out for yourself.
I flew Delta. I don't know if any other airline, let me say this, if they're social distancing, but I always fly. Delta's always been my chosen airline anyway. I kind of stick with one airline because I like to get status and perks and stuff.
Well, American has been my airline, but American, they stuffing people into the plane. So
yeah, I heard they didn't got real rude and greedy. They
put people in middle seats and everything. And I think United is doing the same thing. I think Delta is pretty much the only one that's not selling middle seats, and I think Southwest encourages people not to sit in middle seats either. So it's it's challenging, but no one will admit. The thing that's messed up about this virus also is it's almost like, back in the day when somebody had herpes or AIDS or something like that, they wouldn't tell nobody. They'd keep it a secret.
Right.
It's almost the same thing with Corona. It's like, yo, man, this ain't no sexually transmitted diseases. Anybody can catch it. Why be upfront and just tell people?
But because they don't want you. They don't want people looking at them funny. Like it's like I don't understand the stigma behind it either. Yeah. I don't understand why you don't want nobody. It's a flu. It's a contagious flu, and I don't think it's bad to say, I caught that flu.
And you can recover from it. It's like, yo, I got Corona. I had Corona
You can recover.
and whatever, and I'm cool with it. I mean, I get why somebody won't say, hey, you know, I got herpes. Like, I get why they wouldn't say
Yeah, but you don't need
hey,
straight up.
herpes ain't going nowhere, Nick. It's staying
No,
with you.
it ain't going nowhere.
Herpes ain't
It's
going.
there for the duration, Ruben. It ain't going no. It ain't going
Nick,
nowhere.
herpes is like that motherfucker that come to your house when you want to go to sleep and won't leave.
Don't leave. You sitting there, you scratching, you rocking and everything. You like, if this nigga don't go home, when you going home? You already showed up unannounced. When are you going home?
You are unannounced. You got
Come
to
on,
go.
dude. You got to go. What's the problem, kid?
Herpes ain't going, Nick. Herpes staying.
Herpes stain. Herpes stain.
But the whole thing with Corona, if you have it or have had it, you need to let people know because that's how it spreads. And I admire this people who are honest that when they get it, they'll call people just like
Right.
It reminds you of people's sexual partners. It's like, remember, you used to go to the doctor and the doctor be like, hey, you need to let everybody know you've been in contact with.
Oh my God.
Like, hey, what's going on? You good? You got a call for something? You don't? Well, just so you know, I just left the doctor and I got that shit.
Oh, you like what? What are you
What?
saying to me right now?
Yeah, but see, this ain't that because you will recover from it. Like, we gotta get rid of the stigma of Corona, so people can let each other know. A friend of mine just got a call. They were at an event, and people at the event had Corona, so they called everybody who was there. Like, hey, just so you know, a couple of people tested positive. You need to go get checked out. I wish everybody was like that and that right and not being that selfish. You know, because you will recover from Corona. You can recover from it. Obviously, a lot of people have lost their lives. I've had close people to me pass from it. So it's important that you let people know if you get it. Don't keep that shit a secret. And to all you other people out there who are, it's crazy. They practice a social distancing and still having unprotected sex with strangers. You won't wear a mask or a condom, or you wear a mask.
It don't make sense.
And
then another thing we gotta realize through this whole thing, another thing we gotta realize too, people do cough and sneeze because of allergies and other kind of things. But I think that you do okay if you kind of keep your social distancing. And I get it. You know, I get people like why people don't want to stay in the house and people want to have functions and those kind of things. I do understand it. Even though I don't recommend it, I don't think it's a good thing. You know, especially, and it's easier for us to, I think, Rube, because of the lifestyles that we live. You know, we travel, we always gone. It's not a bad task to ask us, okay, stay at your house for some time or not be around a lot of people at times, because we do it a lot. But if you can minimize your contact with people and just err on the side of caution, wear your mask and follow the rules. Ashley Campbell said the governor of Missouri is hosting events after he was confirmed positive.
You know why? Because white people don't like to be told what to do.
They do not. And I have learned, Ashley, since I've been on the road, Ashley, is that Donald Trump has divided this country to the point where you can see it. Like in Atlanta, that's a Republican. Now, let me tell you the tricky part with Atlanta. Atlanta has a Democratic black female mayor, but they have a Republican governor. Now, I think if she wasn't a woman, if Keisha Lance Bottoms was a man, I think that they would more so follow what she was saying do and wear their mask and practice social distance. I think she's dealing with a big misogyny factor there. But they're not they're not on that side of it. They're on the side of we're going to do what we want to do. We're not really, they don't really wear masks in Atlanta. They don't do a lot of social distancing. You would not think when you went to Atlanta that
Corona.
that there was such thing as Corona, that Corona even existed. You would never think that. I couldn't believe it. They got a big old sign up saying this in the Whole Foods, when you go in the Whole Foods, because I didn't went old school, Rube. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm cooking my food and everything. You know, I carry a hot plate with me. I'm in my room cooking like I always do. You would think I was on Cadillac Records. I'm in the room with the pain. I'm whipping my own thing up because I'm not doing a whole lot of eating out. I'm just not doing that. Well, you know what I mean? So
I know from being your friend, I know how seriously you take it. So
you already know.
Nick, y'all listen out there. Nick, do not play with the Rona.
Ruben called me one time, y'all. Ruben said, "Hey, Nick, yeah, I know how you feel about the Rona. I'm putting this show together now. You know, it's gonna be social distance. We're gonna be outside. You're gonna get down. What you gonna do?" I was like, Ruben, said you can wear your mask up there, take your own microphone. The people not gonna be on you. I was like, okay, Ruben, I can get down with that. So I just think that the way the country is divided, you will see that there is more. If you go to a state that is run by, that has basically a Democratic governor, let's take it from the governor. If they have a Democratic governor, you'll see more social distancing practices. But if you're in a Republican state with a Republican governor, you forget about it. They're going to let people do whatever they really choose to do. So that's why as adults, you got to be responsible. Either you're going to say, I'm going to be responsible for myself and I'm going to try to, try my best to not get sick. Or I'm just going to say it's whatever. I had friends even tell me, it's people that they don't believe it. And I mean, what can you say to that?
But you know what pisses me off?
I believe
it's like people complaining about wearing masks. I get it, but it bothers me like those people who complain about wearing masks act like the rest of us love wearing masks. Like we wake up in the morning like, I get to put a mask on today. Like nobody wants to wear a mask.
No, they don't.
Nobody wants to wear a mask. We're wearing a mask, one, because they're telling us that this is something that can help, curb the virus and keep people safe and keep people healthy, especially the people who are at a high risk factor of it possibly being able to kill them. Like it really shows you how selfish we are in this world. If we know that Corona won't affect us personally, it ain't about us. It's about the other people. It's about our fellow man. Are we our brother's keeper? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
even if I think it's a conspiracy theory, even if I did think it's bullshit, the close people that I know that have passed from it have passed from Corona. So whether it's man-made or whatever it is, it could be man-made, whatever the thing is, it doesn't negate the fact that we should still wear masks and do the things necessary to protect one another.
And it's not a lot to ask either.
It isn't a lot to ask.
It's just, I mean, I know the mask is uncomfortable. I get tired of it. I don't like wearing it, especially when I'm traveling. It's like, it seems like I have it on from the time I get to the airport. I got to fly in it the whole time.
Yeah.
Then after I get off the plane, so it's like hours and hours. By the time I get to my hotel, I'm like wore out from the mask. But I get it and I understand, and I just think it's the best thing to do.
Hey, and let me just say this.
As you said, plus I have the right not to catch your illness. Absolutely. As Freddie Carr said, discipline is needed, no doubt about it. That's true.
How messed up do you have to be? And it's been shocking that I've heard some white people do this, where you're comparing wearing a mask to slavery. Like y'all motherfuckers need to look up slavery.
For real.
There's no comparison whatsoever to wearing a mask. But that just shows you how detached people are and how they don't really understand what the struggle of Black Lives Matter and everything else is, or looking for equality. They don't really understand it. The fact that they can take not wearing a mask and equate it to being oppressed like slavery. That shit is crazy to me. Form their mouth to say that shit.
And it's the whole thing is just weird. Like, the whole thing is when white people begin to just talk about our whole situation in this country, and it's almost like some of them act like they're oblivious to it, and that's weird to me. Like let's take it wasn't Marv Albert. I can't think the guy that comes on Don Lemon sometimes. He's a sport caster, but I can't even think of his name. I don't know why I wanted to say Marv Albert, and I know it wasn't Marv Albert. but he was making a point about basketball. I'm switching a little bit, Rude, about how they're not going to be continue to go in the direction that they're going, and because it's a business and people that want to watch the game, they don't want to continue to hear this. What is that? What is that called? But in the same breath, he's saying he's sensitive to the, what's going on with the Black community, the brown community, what's going on with people of color. He's saying he's sensitive to that. But, LeBron James and them, they can't continue to go on with it. This is a business. Your point has been heard. He basically, in my opinion, was just saying, let it go. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that. That bothers me.
Well, of course it bothers you. It bothers me because we understand, because we're living through these issues. And the other part of that bothers me is people think that because you're a millionaire like LeBron James or any other athlete or any other actor or professional, that somehow racism doesn't apply to you because you got a lot of money in your bank account. And I don't think they'll ever understand that, because I don't think they want to understand it. I think to say, hey, just move on and forget about it. Yeah, we understand. They don't really want to understand what systematic racism is like from our perspective, because there's a responsibility once you know. Mm-hmm. It should challenge you to want to do better. Like if I knew, I'll tell you a story, a simple gig, just to show as an example. I remember doing a gig and realizing that I was the only one getting paid on the gig.
Wow.
I didn't feel good about that.
Right.
All the other comics was like, you getting paid? I'm like, y'all not getting paid? So I went to the dude and I go, hey man, I don't think it's cool for me to get paid and not pay everybody else.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? I just felt some way about that. And I just think a lot of times people don't have enough empathy or compassion to really see, wow, these people are really going through it. Now, let me just say this. We do have a lot of allies in a lot of other communities.
Absolutely. Don't misunderstand the conversation.
There's a lot of white people, and Asians and Latinos, and a lot of people of color who are anti-racist.
Absolutely.
And
we also have white friends too. Don't get.
Oh, absolutely. But we're just talking about the people who are in denial, the people who yell out "All Lives Matter," the people who try to ignore what's going on, people who try to make excuses for murder. And one thing that blows my mind is when somebody will say, "Well, this person did that," or "This person had a warrant," or "This person did that," so that means they should get killed on the street. So the cops are judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, right? That's just wrong.
And guess what, everybody? Black people don't like criminals either.
No,
we don't like crime.
No,
we like crime. Like we look for.
Right.
Ooh, I hope my house get robbed today. I hope a motherfucker shoot me when I ain't looking. Like we think crime should be punished. All we're saying is arrest people like you're supposed to. Police officers arrest people. You shouldn't be killed. There shouldn't be so many people dying, unarmed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take them to jail. Let them pay their debt to society. Let them go to go through the process to see if they're really guilty. To see if they're really, we can't let them be dead and then all of a sudden go, oh man, my bad.
Oh, that was the wrong thing to do.
Oh shit. And that's why they slander everybody who's get killed. They try to make excuses. Oh, Breonna Taylor got killed. Oh, her ex-boyfriend was this. She didn't deserve to die.
No.
So you should get killed for a counterfeit bill if that's what he was doing. So he should get murdered. Yeah. Where's the humanity,
Yep. So that's all we're basically saying. I know sometimes we and I think we gotta have these dialogues to see if we can work through this kind of way. Hey Rube, I got a segment on this show called Air It Out. You got 2 minutes to air it out, whatever it is. Because on this show, Rube, we think laughter heals, and we don't believe in holding things in and holding on to things. Like, I don't think that's healthy for you. So just air it out. Whatever you don't like, you got 2 minutes to just let their ass have it, Rube. And go, Rube.
Air it out. Well, I already started my air it out with
yes.
that the people comparing wearing a mask to slavery. How disconnected do you have to be? How privileged in your world where you can wake up and be distraught and can't operate during the day because you have to wear a mask, and you compare that to people not being able to have any rights whatsoever. To me, that shit is just beyond me. When I see these videos pop up and they say this is America, and they act like like there ain't no rules. There's always rules wherever you go in life.
Yeah, hell
no matter
yeah.
where you go in life, there's always going to be rules. Now, you might not have to follow those rules, but you're going to end up following some rules eventually. Everybody's going to have to follow rules eventually. Me and my boy Gerard always say is, you ain't got to follow the rules, but there will be a set of rules down the line that you're going to have to follow. You you can break any law that you want to, but you ain't going to be breaking no laws in prison.
Yeah. You going to follow the rules.
I said lights out.
Lights out. You heard?
You ain't gonna tell the guard, fuck you, I'm leaving my nightlight on the whole night. Your ass gonna be home. So I just, guys, look, and they try to call people who follow the rules sheep. You're not sheep if you follow the rules. You know what I mean? And if we turn out that this is all a hoax, then so be it. At least I did my part to keep everybody safe, trying to do the right thing. But just to be defiant and try to fight. And let me just say this ain't just white people. I've seen black people.
Oh yeah.
Man, I ain't wearing no motherfucking mask or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they're only asking you to wear these masks for a reason. And it's not, and now if you really do have a medical condition where you can't wear a mask, maybe you should stay at home anyway.
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
So
that's all we saying. Rude. Shout out to everybody where they can find you, where they can see you, and all that good stuff.
Well, on Facebook, it's Ruben Paul Comedy. I have a page there. I have a podcast that I do. Very funny comedian that me and Dominique are good friends with, the one and only Johnny Sanchez. We do a podcast called The Best of Everything. I'm going to be starting my own solo podcast that I'm looking forward to doing.
Yep.
As a guest soon. We're still working on the name of the podcast, but doing that. And also, you can find me on social media on Instagram at I am Ruben Paul, Twitter I am Ruben Paul, and I'm going to be hitting the road soon. So just follow me on social media. Shout out Freddie Carr, and everybody stay safe. And
y'all stay safe. We're going to get into this debate, and we're going to look at this debate, and then I'm going to go live with somebody else. I got another panel I'm going to do. Ruben, I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all, spread the word. I got a special, like I said, on Amazon. Stop me when I'm lying. I'm going. That's right. I'm going to Jackson, Mississippi this weekend. Chuckles Comedy Club, October the 1st through the 4th, October 2nd through the 4th. And you can also find me on Dominique DOMINIQUE Comedy COMEDI. Go ahead, Ruth.
And lastly, like I said earlier, I have an album that I recorded with a lot of the old hits on there. Was retiring those jokes to do the new special, but it's a good album. It's gotten a lot of love from it. It's called Laughter Knows No Color.
It's funny. I was there when it was recorded. It's funny.
Yes, I appreciate you. Yes.
I was there. I even went up. He gave me some time. That's my brother right there. Yeah, all right, y'all. So we'll see y'all next week with some more funny people. And of course, Ruben gonna come back. This family to the show. This is my brother. So he come back anytime he get ready. So you gonna see Ruben. You might as well get familiar with him. You gonna love him like I love him. But I love you too. All right, and we out.
We out.